Hello and welcome, everyone. How are you? It is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you for this Rooted Radio live broadcast experience. My name is Alanna Kaivalya. I'm the author of The Way of the Satisfied Woman and the founder of thesatisfiedwoman.com and the Rooted membership. The Rooted membership is your space as a feminine woman to reclaim your power and get the support that you need to settle back into your femininity in an everyday way. So, for all of you watching, there is a link right in the chat for you to get $20 off of your Rooted membership. So, make sure that you click that and sign up because that offer ends very, very soon. Today, we're going to be talking about what is a satisfied woman. Great question. I actually wrote the book, so I've got lots of information to share with you. And I want us to really recognize that satisfaction is our birthright as women. I don't know that we've ever really been told that, but I'm telling you now, and I am giving you full permission from this day forward to fully pursue satisfaction, even over and above things like success. Success is a model that has very masculine energy, if you think about it. Success is getting to the finish line, success at all costs, often climbing up a ladder, stepping over other people to get there. Success is often very do it yourself, individualistic, alone, isolating. Success has a finish line, and once you're there, what do? Is it done, or do you just move the goalpost further? So, this kind of linear, consistent, narrow, really focused way of pursuing success does definitely work, but it doesn't necessarily work if you want to stay in your femininity. Doesn't want to if you want to stay in your feminine rhythm. Instead, I encourage us all to pursue satisfaction, which can still have some great success along with it. We can still make money, we can still have a family, we can still enjoy our lives, but it's going to have a more holistic experience, something that's more resonant for the feminine. So let me define satisfaction for you because when I was writing this book, I'll tell you something. Really digging into the actual definition of satisfaction for me was quite a mic drop moment. Satisfaction is defined as, you ready for this, ladies? The pleasure derived from the fulfillment of your wishes and needs. Let me just unpack that for a second, and I'm going to work backwards. Needs are something that every human on the planet needs to have filled. Every human on the planet wants to have their needs met, and we spend much of our lives doing whatever we can in pursuit of getting those needs met. And those are, yes, basic needs, food, shelter, connection, but they're also the things that make your life worth living. Do you need to live in a certain location? Do you need to have certain people around you? Do you need to have certain comforts in order for you to really feel like life has power and meaning for you? Now, your wishes is another piece of this, right? Because satisfaction is the pleasure derived from the fulfillment of your wishes and needs. Your wishes are actually what give life meaning. Joseph Campbell, the great mythologist, would say that life has no meaning except that which you bring to it, which is quite a powerful statement. It's up to us to find the meaning and bring it to our own lives. And we do that through our wish fulfillment. That's where our individuality, our uniqueness flourishes because not everybody wants the same needs or wishes fulfilled. Some people have a great wish to travel the world. Some people wish to just stay at home and be chill. Some people have a great wish for some kind of education. Some people have a great wish for some kind of connection. Whatever your wish is, that's what makes your life your own. Okay? So the pleasure derived from the fulfillment of your wishes and needs. I love this idea of fulfillment. Juxtaposing it with success, fulfillment doesn't really have an end goal. There isn't an end point at which we are done. For any of us who have reached a level of success in any regard, right, by any measure or any standard, even baby measures of success, you know the emptiness you feel when you're there, when you're finished. It's kind of that letdown moment of, oh, what do I do now? Satisfaction never has that. It has this sense of fulfillment, this constantly evolving and progressing and refilling of our cup. It's a feeling. And it's a feeling specifically of pleasure. Now, ladies, let me take a moment and talk about pleasure. Pleasure is the province of the feminine. The feminine feels pleasure. And I mean that in every way possible. Yes, sexual pleasure, physical pleasure, relational pleasure, emotional pleasure, psychological pleasure, cultural pleasure, sensual pleasure, all of it. It's a feeling that wells up from within us because it is literally the spark of divine energy. When a woman feels pleasure, and she's going to feel it in her body. In my live broadcast on Rooted Radio yesterday, I talked about how women, feminine women, are embodied. We are embodied. Being a feminine woman means to be in the physical form. The masculine is mental. It's much more, that's why logic and reason are their superpowers, and feeling and intuition are ours. So, this idea of pleasure is an embodied principle where it's that life force energy that is our essence. And the feminine woman holds life force energy. Think about it in the most basic way. It's the feminine woman that gives birth. She can actually create an entire human being from her physical body, create something, life from almost nothing. We are the harbingers of the life force energy. When that is welling up within us, that becomes our creativity. That becomes the glow that we share with others. That becomes what we radiate out into the world. Our pleasure, when it comes, I sort of imagine it when we feel pleasure as like little sparkles from our skin. It's that life force energy pushing its way out from the inside, lighting us up. And that is the most attractive force. When a woman is feeling pleasure, that is the most attractive force. Lady, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. If any of you have had that experience of being out and about and catching the eye of someone. When you're radiant, when you're moving, sometimes often when we're dancing, when we're having fun with friends, when we're in a place that feels good to us, that's when we catch the eye of someone. That's when we become most attractive. And attraction is critical and crucial for the feminine. That is the crux, really, of receptivity. So this is my third day in a row of Rooted Radio Live broadcasting for you all to give you a real taste of the things we talk about and the things that we work on and sort out and own inside the Rooted membership. And yesterday, and I think also the day before, I talked about the power of receptivity, about our vessel. Yesterday, we talked about the power of no and how that really creates the container for our receptivity. Receptivity is attraction. So whether that be your intimate partner, whether that be attracting abundance, whether that be attracting the support that you need, whether that be attracting the help, attracting whatever it is, it gets turned on with that pleasure and that fulfillment of our wishes and needs. That, ladies, yes, I'm getting an I agree in the chat. Awesome. That is the satisfied woman. Satisfaction comes from the pleasure, the fulfillment of our wishes and needs. And that is holistic. Again, women as feeling embodied people. We need to have that feeling of satisfaction every fucking day. Every day. It's that feeling of satisfaction that allows us to calibrate our world. Any dissatisfaction will be felt by us first. We are like the canaries in the coal mine in that way, that anytime there is a dysregulation or we are out of alignment with what's happening around us, anything that doesn't feel good, it starts as a feeling. It may not start as a logical, oh, this is what's out of whack. You're going to start as a feeling. This is the spidey sense. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This is that inner knowing where you think you kind of something's a little off here. Maybe in relationship, he's not where he said he would be. Maybe it's in your career. I feel like my paycheck is a little light this week. It's that spidey sense. Again, it's your intuition, which you as a feminine woman have more strongly than anyone else. Femininity is many, many things, but femininity, its superpowers are intuition and emotional depth. That's how you know. That's how you move in the world. And when things are off, when we need a recalibration, when there's a sense of dysregulation, when things don't feel right, that's dissatisfaction. And the woman will not rest until we're calibrated, until satisfaction comes back. We cannot feel satisfied when we don't have the things that we need. Okay. So, what I wanted to do first today in our Rooted Radio experience is really define satisfaction for you. Because we've been living in this culture that has told us for so long that the best thing you can do is pursue success. That's on their terms. For too long, women have been pursuing a life and dreams and success and the ideals that have been put forth and laid out for us by the masculine, particularly the patriarchy. And let me just quickly name, by the way, the patriarchy is a cultural structure that serves no one. Oops, sorry. It serves no one. It doesn't serve men. It doesn't serve women. It certainly doesn't serve big-hearted men and powerful, deeply feeling women. It doesn't serve healthy masculine or feminine. The patriarchy arises from very distorted values of masculinity and femininity. Okay? So, just so we're clear, this is not an indictment of man or women. This is not an indictment of people. It's just that this culture doesn't work for us. It wasn't built with the healthy feminine woman in mind. It wasn't built to center us. It wasn't built to elevate us. It wasn't built for equality on each of our terms. Okay. We've been fighting for a really long time for equality and thinking that it has meant equal to what men have. Let them have it. We don't need that. Let's get it ourselves, ladies. Let's get what we want. And it's different. And it's okay that it's different. Differences are fine. Differentials are not. A differential is a hierarchical structure. When they have more and that creates us always having less, that's no bueno. When what they have or want or need or can do is always more and better and faster and more valued, that's not okay. So differentials are a problem. Differences are okay. It's okay for us as feminine women to be different, to want different things, to have different desires, to have different wishes, to have different needs. Let's do that. That's what makes us amazing, powerful, unique, special, fierce. So, if we can settle into this idea of wanting satisfaction over whatever the fuck they taught us that we wanted, it actually stresses us out and burns us out. For any woman who has been on the program of the patriarchy and earned success in all the ways possible and been doing everything for herself and everything else for everyone else at all times, that's burnout. Talked about that yesterday. By the way, you get all of these replays in the Rooted membership. So make sure you join. Today's the day. Click the link. Now, if you want satisfaction, number one, raise your hand. Let me know in the chat. Do we want satisfaction? Yes. Do we want to feel pleasure in our bodies? Absolutely. Oh, yay. I got to chat about my book. My book helps so much. I bought more to give my girlfriends. Love these broadcasts. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm so glad you're reading it and participating. It is a pleasure to have you here. Truly, that is what lights me up inside, is doing this work with and for women. I do this inside my membership. I also do coaching. I am trying to spread the word of satisfaction far and wide. This is not just a membership. It is a movement. It is a movement. And ladies, I need you to move. I need you to move. I can't do this by myself, right? We have to change our world together. We have to change our world together. And it starts with each of us changing our individual spaces. Okay, the place that we have some sovereignty over. All right, sovereignty is you, my fair lady, in your queenly role. Every woman should be a queen of the space that she's in. Sovereignty is your receptive container, the place where you exist, the place that you are defined by, outside of how you're defined by everyone else. You're not just someone else's parent. You're not just someone else's spouse. You're not just someone else's girlfriend, someone else's daughter. It used to really kind of piss me off, actually. When I was a kid, we would get wedding announcements, in the mail. Do you remember that? Maybe they still do this. Now they're all digital, but I remember getting in the mail the wedding announcement inviting you to the wedding of Mr. and Mrs. His name. Like the woman just disappears. It's okay to call her Mrs. whoever he is. Um, yeah, women, we're done disappearing. Let's just be done disappearing. We don't need that anymore. So let me tell you how to get satisfaction because it is your birthright. It's who you are. It's for you. It is exactly what will fulfill your feminine soul and keep you really calibrated to the things that are most important to you. It will give your life meaning and it will differentiate you from this idea that what you want and need should be whatever they have been telling you want and need. Mm-mm. No, girl. Let's get it for yourself. All right. So, satisfaction. Here we go. There's a little bit of bad news. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. In order for a woman to feel satisfied, she needs to have four keys in place. You cannot actually achieve a level of satisfaction unless these four keys are really tended to, prioritized, and there. If any one of these four keys isn't present, then instead of satisfaction, you're going to feel things like burnout, abandonment, self abandonment, deprioritization, devaluation? I think that's correct. You're going to feel not good. Okay. It's going to be that tension, that again, that spidey sense of something's not right here. Okay. I love this phrase. You'll hear me say it a lot. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Y'all are mamas. And we as feminine women are the emotional calibrators and regulators of our communities, our spaces, our families. It is just so. I know. The emotional labor of that is heavy. I got it. I understand. And it would be so much easier if everybody would understand that and work with us a little bit. We're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. I'm giving you the tools to help yourself support them so that they can support you. Look, we were all raised in this culture. None of us was pulled aside and given the 101 on how we're supposed to behave in our most healthy feminine and masculine polarities. Okay. We're getting that information now, thank goodness. But for now, let's just give everybody a little bit of grace. So we all were raised with this bad, improper training. But here we are. We're getting it. I'm giving it to you right now. I'm giving it to you inside the Rooted membership. I give it to you in the book. Anywhere I go, offering it up. So these four keys are the things that you need in order to achieve satisfaction every day. Number one, safety. Okay. Safety means being safe from harm in your body, mind, and heart in every way possible to be safe. I know actually that can be a big ask for women, and I understand. Many women are not safe physically, emotionally, relationally, financially. That's tough. That's what the culture has passed down to us. We have more power, choice, and agency now than we ever have before to be able to create safety for ourselves and to get help creating safety for ourselves. But it is still a battle, and I want to name it and recognize it. We cannot rest. We cannot love and we cannot fully be present unless we feel safe. We don't want to be bracing ourselves through life. And I think probably most every woman knows that feeling of bracing herself, whether it be bracing herself from the reaction of her intimate partner, whether it be bracing herself for showing up to the meeting at work, whether it be bracing herself for any other kind of harm. So safety first. That is the first and foremost key. Now, yeah, let's start there. The second one is security. Okay, security. Security is our sense of stability and groundedness. It's our ability to have our needs met, all of our needs. Again, not just good food and shelter, but whatever it is that makes you feel secure in this world. It might be a certain income level. It might be a certain kind of clothing or outfitting. It might be a certain kind of car. Whatever it is, there's no judgment. It's based on what you need. Security is having your needs met, your most core essential needs met, without question. That no one tries to subjugate your needs, including you, including you. That you stop putting your own needs last in order to take care of them. Don't do that anymore. It's not a feminine quality. The feminine calls in and is receptive to having needs met. Not just getting them met herself. This isn't all on us. We live in a world with other people. They're there. I don't know what to tell you. I know that there's a huge focus on individuality and individualism and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and DIY, doing it yourself all the way through life. That is another way that this culture tries to keep us isolated and alone. Humans aren't meant to function that way. And good luck, because there's humans everywhere around you. And they are going to piss you off. They're going to take away from you. They're going to devalue you. Or they're going to step up and help. They're going to support. They're going to contribute. Okay? So security is emotional security. It's financial security. Housing, income, all of it. All of the ways in which you need to feel like your needs are met. The third key is trust. Trust in yourself. Okay, so for the feminine woman, you trust yourself when you listen to and honor your intuition and your emotional depth. Yesterday, I taught a really powerful embodiment practice about finding your no and honoring your no. Your no is what keeps your container for receptivity strong. Not your yes. Your yes is you giving yourself away. Your no is you holding that space, open to receive. So you need to be able not just to listen to your intuition and your emotional depth. Your emotional responses are information. Yes, this feels good. No, this does not. Your intuition is information even before you know it about whether you can move through a space or not, be in a relationship or not. Ladies, you don't even have to raise your hand for this one because I'm pretty sure we all have been in relationships for longer than we should have. Our intuition was screaming way before we finally decided to exit. No one is ever served by overriding their intuition, least of all the feminine woman. So your self-trust is cultivated when you listen to your intuition and your emotional depth and prioritize it over and above even your rational and logical thinking. Rational and logical thinking are the superpowers of the masculine. And when we try to really focus on those to the detriment of our own intuition and emotions, we are actually doing ourselves as feminine women a disservice. We're denying our own femininity. Our logic and reason can help us figure out how to get or serve our emotional and intuitive needs. That's self-trust. Now, You might notice that as I'm describing these keys, they both have internal and external mechanisms. Okay? So where there's self-trust, but there's also external trust. You also need to be able to trust the people in your world and the world around you. If you don't trust those around you, if you don't think they have your back, fire them. Fire them. Kind of without prejudice, fire them. And I understand, like, there's some people you can't fire. You can't fire your family sometimes. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can't. If you can't actually fire them from your world, then minimize their impact. Create super strong boundaries, you know? All right, last one. Remember, there's 4 keys. Last one is cherishing. I love this one. Cherishing is absolutely necessary for the feminine woman to feel a sense of satisfaction. Cherishing is the masculine never leaving the feminine alone in her pain without a solution. Now, if that's not a stunning definition, I don't know what is. That is definitely my fave. And the reason that's so powerful is because it lifts the feminine up. It centers her. It shows us that we're prioritized, loved, that we belong. It's the experience of being held in deep regard, being honored. Now, if we do it for ourselves, it is like what I just mentioned, that our masculine traits don't override our feminine traits. We have an epidemic of anxiety as women. That is that overthinking. That is the bracing ourselves with the masculine armor, trying to turn logic and reason to overfunction, overgive, give ourselves away, and deny our intuitive needs, our emotional depth. We see it all the time. We see it all the time when we don't pay attention to ourselves, when we self-abandon. That is even our masculinity, not honoring or cherishing our own feminine. And look, we as women in this world, in this culture, we've been taught to fear ourselves, to fear our intuition. I get it. Witches were burned at the stake. Intuition has been scary in this culture. It has been punished. The minute a woman shows emotion, she's immediately labeled crazy. One of the courses that you get as a part of being a member with me in Rooted is called Stop Calling Us Crazy. The culture loves to do it. I've witnessed loving husbands turn to their wives, who they love dearly, when she has an emotional moment. Say to her, "Are you on your period right now?" As if that negates her emotional response and disqualifies it. Like it's really ingrained in the culture, and so it's also sometimes ingrained in us. Like we need to tease out our own internal patriarchal bullshit and stop listening to it. Your emotions and your intuition are the most precious thing you've got. They will never lead you astray. Let your masculine logic and reason be in service of that. And when you are in pain, you never leave yourself alone. You never abandon yourself until you can find a solution. Now, the key here is the solution has to feel good. Okay, that's where the masculine and feminine dialogue often gets it wrong. So for us internally, it's never abandoning ourselves and always centering our emotions and our intuition and leading from that. But externally, it's the masculine, our masculine counterparts, never leaving us alone in our pain without finding a solution. That feels good to us. Oftentimes, because everyone has been so taught to negate and disbelieve the pain of a woman. Oh my gosh. If you look at the medical industry, I don't want to, this is too rabbit holey, guys, but the entire history of Western medicine has been taught to minimize a woman's pain and not believe it. Look it up. It's wild. So we've been taught to minimize our own pain and not believe it. Makes sense. Okay, stop doing that. So the dialogue gets lost when the masculine simply overrides the pain and says, stop crying. You're fine. Here's how to fix it. Hmm. No, we love solutions. The masculine is awesome at brainstorming, creating ideas, coming up with solutions for things. We love the solutions. Nobody wants to stay in pain. Nobody wants to stay, in their stuff. We all want to get to that place of satisfaction. If we're feeling discomfort, we want to get to satisfaction. We need that solution. But as the solutions arise, checking in with the feminine, saying, hey, how does this work for you? What about trying this? Does this feel good? Do you feel safe right now? Does this feel secure for you? Do you trust me to lead you? Those are the questions that honor, that cherish, that prioritize. Okay. So here we go. Our 4 keys is a recap. Safety, to be safe and exactly to be who you are in body, mind, and heart, to be free from harm, safety. Security, to always have the ability to get your needs met or help in getting them met. Trust in your emotional depth and your intuition and in those around you, in the world around you. If you can't trust them, fire them. Cherishing, centering and honoring your femininity so much that she's never in discomfort. She's never in pain until a solution can be reached. Because look, again, the feminine woman is dynamic, changeable. We are wild. We are unpredictable. We live in bodies that fluctuate regularly. That is natural. It is appropriate. We are supposed to have these emotional swings. It is literally inbuilt. To deny them is to deny our femininity. This cycle of 28 days that we all go through during the period of years that we menstruate has a purpose. There's a hormonal gift here. There's a several period of days where we are introspective. There's a period of days where we are connective. There's a period of days where we just don't give an F. Okay? Those are all purposeful. It's a constant kind of recalibration of our world to make sure everything is okay because we are the emotional calibrators. And course correction begins with the feminine. The masculine is amazing at just going and staying the course, but sometimes the course needs to change. I'm a sailor. Sailing has been around for thousands of years. It is a valid form of transportation, but you don't get to go in a straight line. How deeply feminine is that? You also can't force the boat. You have to work with nature. You have to go with the waves and the wind. You can optimize, you can do your best, but you are at the mercy of nature when you are sailing. And that is exactly the pairing of masculinity and femininity. The feminine says, we got to change course a little bit. And the masculine doesn't go, no, we go in this straight line. That's distorted masculine. That's control. We don't need control. Masculine goes, thanks, baby. You're right. Let's change a little bit. All right, here we go. There's a working, a symbiosis, a compatibility. If you think about that beautiful Eastern symbol of the yin and yang, it's a circle, but it's got 2 little paisley shapes in it. One is dark with a white spot, one is white with a dark spot. And those represent masculinity and femininity, the energies. And each one has a little bit of the other in it. And each one's shape is beautiful on its own. But on its own, it doesn't go anywhere. It's squishy, it can't roll. You have to put them together in order for that shape to roll on down the road of life. So we are not too much, ladies. In fact, we've spent too long not asking for enough. When our needs go unmet, which they often do, because we're busy subjugating even our own needs to serve other people are busy ignoring our own needs because they don't think we're important. We stop asking, we stop expecting, we stop wanting, and we forget to live life. It's time to live. It's time to be satisfied. It's time to want more. It's time to say no to what no longer feels good. And it's time to really own those four keys: safety, security, trust, and cherishing, because those are the keys that unlock your satisfaction. And what is the satisfied woman? She is the woman who feels pleasure through the ever unfolding fulfillment of her wishes and needs. This isn't lofty thinking. This isn't magical laws of attraction. This is real. This is every day. This is in your world. You curate it first. You let other people witness the power of a woman who owns her no, holds her space, and calls in everything that she needs, who is sovereign, who says, yes, I am here. Who would like to join? Yes, you may join. No, you may not. Okay? I want satisfaction for all women, at least a little more than what they have now. I want them to have all of it, but let's start with at least a little more than we have now. And I want to help. So join me in the Rooted membership. 5 days a week, I offer you daily prompts so that you can stay in your feminine rhythm. Today's Sunday, so it would be Say No Sunday today. What are you saying no to out there so that you can say yes to yourself? We need to be reminded because the week goes on, we forget. Life gets busy, we fall back into our old patterns. Yesterday was Satisfied Saturday. Really considering what it is that makes you feel most satisfied. Saturdayed. Satisfied. I want you to join me for this experience because when you start to walk the way of the satisfied woman, you give all of the other women in your life permission to do the same. This isn't selfish work, it is selfless work. Remember, when you find your own satisfaction, when you cultivate it more for yourself, you're giving other women permission to do that too. You're showing all of your daughters that they deserve it, that they are worth it, that their needs are just as important as everyone else's. That to cherish ourselves and to cherish us as women is critical. And to live in a society that doesn't is disastrous. It is big work, but it begins with you. And it is my great honor and pleasure to lead you through it. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you click the link that offers you $20 off of your month at the Rooted membership. And I look forward to seeing you on the inside. The first thing you'll do is come in and introduce yourself. That's where I hang out. I'm going to be putting this replay up there so you can access it later. This is a movement. Let's begin. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's an honor. And come find me at thesatisfiedwoman.com.